Hi. Obviously, I'd changed already. So my phone was blowing up because there were a lot of comments um, about the issue of what the one of the directors said about the documentary. So I felt like I probably need to get back on here, and I apologize. I thought that I had ended the live, but I obviously had not. And when I did that, I disconnected my camera, I walked away, and went and got in more comfortable clothes. So um, when I tried to reconnect, I'm sorry, it said rejoin the live, and I couldn't figure out. I mean, I hit the button rejoin the live, but the camera just wouldn't activate. But anyway, I certainly do apologize for that. And I really don't like saying, "Hey, let's wait a minute till everybody gets in here," because I've decided after my last live I wasn't going to do that anymore. My live starts at the time it starts and it ends at the time that it ends. And if people can't be there when it starts, they can certainly be there at some point, and if they want to see it from the beginning, they can always go back and look at it. And I'm not being disrespectful to anyone. I'm trying to respect those who are able to join on time, because isn't it just damn boring to sit there and go, okay, wait a minute, let's wait a few more minutes, whatever. But on this particular live, we're going to wait a few more minutes because people are over in the other live going, hey, answer this question. And so this time I was like, I'm not going to do a lot of the comments because I was really just thought that I was doing, um, what do you call it? Comments of my comments about what to expect when you're there, with no spoiler alerts. Of course, nobody can give a spoiler alert, particularly um, myself or other people that have not seen it. So we can't give a spoiler alert. So anyway, I am so sorry about that. Okay, so um, now I'm going to try to look at the comments. And I don't know, did I get the right number on the? This is hilarious. It's going to be a run. This will go down in history. Um, there we go. All right, let me get I've got to put my computer in front of me because I'm going to pay attention to your comments, and I'm going to address the comments that were asked in the other live. Let's see. Okay, there's supposed to be a way to pop this out. Let me pop it out real quick. Okay, just wanted to put that on mute. All right, let's see. Reactions. Pop out chat. Let's see. There we go. There you go. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Okay. Hey, welcome. Welcome. Hey, you know, hi, Mary Owens. Hi. I hope I get it right. Vicinia Busto. Oh, I'm sorry, not the. Yeah, Yasinia Busto. And of course, my TCB Myrtle Beach, ME-FAFO. I'm sure that means something. Yay! Will you do small recap? I didn't know you were live. Okay. Sure. Give me just a minute. And then I see Vivian Rogers. Thank you. Thank you for addressing this. You're welcome, Vivian. Thank you for coming back. And let's see. Yes, Mary. Justice for Micah. All right. So I don't know how to tell how many people are in here unless they make a comment or something, I think. And again, something I'm still learning with YouTube myself. All right. So there was what I got was, wait a minute, Regina. The director, hold on, I've got to get my paper here too that says, oh, here it is. So the Criminally Obsessed did an interview with Mike Gasparo. He is one of the directors. He's one of the directors of the documentary. He made this one in connection or jointly with Julia Willoughby Nason, Nason. I didn't get to meet Julia, I don't think, but I did meet Mike. The executive producers are Tom Capello and Alana Goldstein, who I know very well and like quite a bit. Keely Walker Muse, those folks are all with Crazy Legs Productions, and they were the executive producers of it. And again, Nason and Gasparo are with Cinemar, and Yodaman Gundelman is with Silvio. All right, so it's my understanding, or I was told that he said during his interview on Criminally Obsessed that Micah, someone said Micah, he said Micah said she was, good grief, I can't even talk now. Micah was diagnosed with bipolar. I listened to it. I'm not sure I remember hearing him say that exactly. And don't set me on fire if he did. I just don't remember that. I tried to listen real quickly to some bits of it before I got back on here. That he also said she had mental health issues. And so let me just address those things first. Okay, first of all, y'all, Netflix is a ginormous company, as you know. Okay, they have a team of lawyers, and they vet everything that they produce. Okay, they have to look at everything frame by frame by frame, because they have to be very careful to make sure that the story that they're presenting, this is a docu-series. This is not a Hallmark movie, okay? There's a difference between that. Hallmark movie is for, dramatic purposes and cinematic purposes, entertainment purposes, okay? The docu-series is not a dramatic Hallmark or whatever you call those movies. I can't think of anything else. Just know the channel. Those are made to entertain. A docuseries is not made for entertainment purposes initially. It is to tell the story, to document. Okay, and a docuseries to document things that happen. Lord knows we know in this world that there are a lot of theories about what happened, but at the end of the day, until there's some evidence that's brought forward that shows 100% otherwise, that's solid, and maybe the FBI has it, but it's not something that would be released right now, period. That would be horrible. That would ruin a case if there is such a thing. I'm not saying that there is, but what I am saying is if there is evidence of, well, actually, I'm diverging. We're talking about him saying if she's bipolar or has a mental health issue. First of all, depression is a mental health situation. It's very rampant. To say someone has a mental health issue doesn't mean they're bonkers. Okay, it doesn't mean that they're not worthy of good treatment. Doesn't mean that what they say is untrue. I don't know what people are doing here in terms of being worried that these things have been said. This documentary is going to bring awareness to those types of things too. Okay, and mental health issues. We should put it that way. There's I don't think anybody could doubt for a minute or not doubt for a minute. It just wouldn't be logical to say that Micah did not have some depression. It's called situational depression that I'm aware of. I am not a doctor, I'm a lawyer, okay? And it's common for people to be depressed under those circumstances. There was a lot of things that were out in the world that um, John Paul was calling her, saying she had all these other like serious mental health issues. I mean, I think he said she was schizophrenic. I think he said she was, I'm pretty sure, I'm positive he said she was bipolar and stuff like that. But listen, anything that Netflix is going to produce out there, first of all, is going to be backed up with some sort of evidence. Okay. And I'm not saying that, well, let me say, they're not going to put something out there that's just a feeling or I think happened. That's what content creators do. That's what the cyber sleuths do. Okay. Netflix is going to use the information that's in front of them. Okay. Because if they don't, they could get into some problems. They cannot go out there and say, you know, that if there's something in the record, if there's something in, I don't know, whatever it is. So they're not going to say these things without there being some kind of backup. As far as the director saying it was, he thought, this was what I wrote down, that he thought that she was basically at the end of the road, is the way he put it, that she was at a place where she just thought it was too much, that she may not have felt like she could get out of things. He said that he thinks that she did, take her or did an unaliving there. But I didn't hear him say those other things. But anyway, listen, until there's evidence to show something else, Netflix is bound, regardless, to go by what the record says. And there is a coroner's report, which is a legal document. That's a legal document that they rely on. Even if they, and there's more, by the way, there's more than one producer, there's more than one director, there's a lot of people involved in this, okay? And their own personal opinions may differ in different things. But if you listen to it, I think that the interviewer was asking him how it got to that place. And he was just going by what the things that they presented. I'm assuming, and I'm making a big assumption, but I'm pretty damn sure that they're not going to put anything out there unless they have something that that they're relying on. Okay. And like I said, big time. If there was evidence of foul play or some sort of involvement of other people or other, I can't even say, I'm not even sure how I can say things here, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. If anybody else was involved in that incident involving the end of Micah's life, and if that exists, then somebody's going to be in jail. Somebody's going to be arrested. There's a warrant going to be issued for 1, 2, 3, 10, whatever it is, if it's anything at all. And if that were the case, do you damn think for 1 minute that information is going to be released by the feds to Netflix? No, it's not. That would be ridiculous. We would all immediately go to the FBI office and raise hell. Okay, so their story at this point, and you have to remember this. Micah just passed 2 years ago, y'all. Okay, a little over 2 years ago, and to get a documentary made and out in production and on up and showing this fast is incredible. Okay. Um, and Y'all do remember that there are charges pending against John Paul Miller. You do know that, right? So, do y'all want that case to be screwed up in any kind of way? No. Uh, so, don't be upset about that, and don't, please, for God's sake, don't think that if if Mr. Gasparo said that she was bipolar, JP said that, and if they're saying that, then there must be something else that they're relying on. I don't know if that's interviews with other family members, doctor stuff, or I have no idea. But I can say this: it would be something that they would rely on. As far as mental health issues, even if these things are true, if they are true, that does not, and please do not, don't, that's called what I call a red herring. They call that in law school, where they throw something else out there to take your attention off of what's really important. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Don't go down that rabbit hole. All right. So, quite frankly, most of you know that. I mean, I have um, a family member that has bipolar, um, and has some, it's mental health, but that doesn't mean she's incompetent. It doesn't mean that she can't do certain things. It doesn't mean that everything that is discounted. I don't know what the big upset is here. Like that diminishes anything that John Paul would have done. No, you know what it does do, for those of you who haven't thought about it, is it means that Micah would be a vulnerable person. Okay. And if she is characterized as a vulnerable person, then that means everything he did was triple fold worse. Okay. It's the same thing as when you think about little children or elderly people or handicapped people, or whatever it is. They are called, they're vulnerable because they have some situation that prevents them from protecting themselves from the wolves of the world. And that just simply wasn't the truth here, in terms of, you know, um, well, and how would you say that? So if that's the case, if that is the case, then what John Paul did is tenfold worse. And I popped out your comments here and then I skip on talking. So let me go back and look at some of your comments here. I really hope that, I really hope that, oh, hey, Rando, you're hilarious. I got you, girl. I really hope that, that people don't get incensed to the point where they say, well, he said that she unalived herself. Everybody knows that's not true. Well, that's how a lot of people feel. But there are a lot of people who feel that that did happen. I mean, people have feelings. They're going on the things that were presented. What I say all the time is like things that happen in a courtroom. Okay. You see cases go to court and they come back and they don't find in the manner that you think they should have found. And you go, oh, everybody knows they're guilty. Everybody knows this happened. Well, y'all, in a courtroom, not everything we see out here gets seen inside a courtroom. And so a jury makes their determination based on the evidence as it's presented inside that courtroom, not out here in the world courtroom. All right. And so the hands are tied to some degree there. And Netflix cannot go around saying things like Mr. Miller unalived her. What the heck? Right now, there's a coroner's report that says that happened. That's what they have to go on. The team of lawyers scrutinize everything, every interview, every statement, every document, every video, everything that everybody sent into or gave to Netflix. And so they have to do that. And as far as his opinion, there could be other people on there too that were right beside him that think otherwise. But let me tell you this, even if he felt in his gut and heart that it was something opposite, his lawyers for Netflix or for his company would say, don't you dare put that out there, because there's nothing out here that legally that says that. Number one, he's not been charged with that crime. Okay. Number two, if it's in the works, you don't want the cat out of the bag. If that were the case, regardless of who that is. Okay. Regardless of who had what involvement, that doesn't come out. There are currently pending criminal charges. So don't go down that rabbit hole, y'all. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Yes, indeed. Justice for Micah and justice for all victims. Oops, I'm trying to touch it here. Oh my goodness. All right, so let me see. FBI has her phone, right? I honestly can't say for sure who has her phone, but the last entity that had her phone was the FBI. Um, that phone would be relevant to the current pending charges. And so that phone, I would imagine, just based on my knowledge as an attorney, I imagine that it is going to be brought into evidence during the trial. So whether the FBI is safekeeping that, or if the prosecution, the Attorney General's office, there's a possibility they may have it. But there's no other entity that would have it. There you go. Thank you, Rhonda. The biggest thing is to get her story out, to begin that awareness for those who haven't heard of her story. This is just the beginning. I pray, Rhonda, I'm right there with you. I pray the same thing, and I feel that in my heart. Okay. And I'll tell you, Mr. Gasparo, the one that y'all were mad at, he was in my office. I got to talk to him and meet with him. He did the Gabby Petito documentary, and he cared about the story. He cared about Micah's fight, and then the ones who really like were super interested in Micah's story for obviously all the right reasons is a company called Crazy Legs, and Alana Goldstein was the forerunner on that. She was the one that really wanted to get Micah's story and get it right and do right by Micah. And you know, she did a lot of hard work. Her and her team put together a lot of things. Of course, a lot of people shared things with them so that they would have, you know, as much information as possible. You know, this is a ginormous story with a whole lot of layers to it. And, you know, one of the things that was important to a lot of people was to not make this about Mr. Miller. This documentary is not supposed to be about Mr. Miller. Now, do we have to talk about him? Of course we do. Of course we do. You can't tell the story without talking about him. But there's some people out there that thinks there should be a whole series just on Mr. Miller. I don't think he deserves that kind of light. This what they have done, and there's a process, y'all. It's not just Netflix. It actually starts before Netflix even gets involved with people who are interested in wanting to tell the story. And so it's once things are handed over to the big Netflix, the Netflix gets to have their say on what ultimately gets produced and put up on their platform. And so I just don't want you to get lost in those things. If And just remember where we are right now. If the quote case had been closed, Mr. Miller's criminal charges had been disposed of, dispensed with, put in prison, or whatever it would be, then we might be having a different discussion. But there's pending criminal charges, and it wouldn't be good for anything to come out about any of that, if there's anything at all, evidence, witnesses, etc. Okay. And they've been doing their due diligence. The prosecution, they're not going to allow critical evidence in their case to be put out in the world and ruin their case. That's just not going to happen. And please don't be offended. It's okay for somebody to be bipolar. It's okay for that. It's okay to have bouts of depression. All of these are natural things that can happen to people. In terms of, like, depression could be situational. It could be something that's actually, part of, just your makeup or whatever. But there's also, a lot of those things are treatable with the appropriate medications. There also are therapeutic options for whatever it is that someone may be struggling with. And so I also see this as an opportunity to open eyes to that very fact. And again, like I said, don't forget, if that is true, as he said, then that makes it tenfold worse, because Michael would have been considered a vulnerable adult. All right, so yes, thank you for that. Justice for Micah, for sure. Justice for all victims. Yeah, thank you, TCB, my number one moderator. Mental health issues happen when you abused. That is very true. Okay. Bree MI07, he said bipolar. Okay, that's what you heard Mr. Gasparo say. In that, did someone tell you that, or you are a witness and heard it with your own ears? And again, if he did say that, there's something that he is relying on. Now, y'all don't forget, JP did have her committed in probate court, right? More than once. And those, I don't know what's in, what's part of those documents or whatever, but it could be, the information could come from lots of different places, or one place, or many places. I don't know. And let's see. Just don't get sidetracked with that. Mary Owens. Yes, abuse causes mental health issues. Yes, indeed. Hi, April Scott. He said she was all of the above. Oh, bipolar, mental health issues, and unallowed herself. Okay. Well, again, what I said earlier, Netflix is not going to be able to put anything out there on a they're not going to surmise. They have a team of armies that are going to, a team of armies. Micah has an army. Netflix has a team of lawyers that vet everything that they produce. All right, so here's the thing. I don't even feel right about even commenting on it, quite frankly, because I haven't seen the documentary, just like y'all haven't. I haven't seen it. So after I see it, I might have something different to say about what the director said. I don't know why he's saying what he said. Um, okay. Oh, thank y'all for the likes too, the hearts. And I can't get my. Let me pop it back down because I think I'm missing. All right, so I'm just going to go through some comments. All right, this did Mary and April Scott. Okay, Rhonda, true crime addict. They aren't going to want a lawsuit, so they will be careful of what they share. Absolutely, 100%. That would be the case. And let's see. I hope I'm saying it right. Some names are very obvious. Others are like initials and things. So I'm just kind of going by what it looks like. It says Bree My oh 07. There's no evidence of bipolar. That's JP's theory. Okay, ma'am. Have you seen every record? There's no evidence that's been published of that, right? And every time I touch it. Okay, Mary Owens, thank you again. Yes, we want the story out there. We are glad to have Netflix. IMO, y'all have to catch me up on those little things on the IMO. Yes, I'm happy to. And use info in front of them. That's correct. All right, Bree again says this case would have been cold if it wasn't for the sleuths. I'm so glad you said that. Actually, some of the sleuths kind of muddied up a lot of stuff and got things wrong that I personally know were wrong that I can't say anything about for different reasons. So, no, it's not the sleuths. Yes, any outrage that was out there, people who were legitimately trying to get answers. The voices were being heard, getting people talking, getting people upset, getting people going, well, I don't believe that, or I believe that, or that's probably true, or that's not true. Yeah, absolutely. That was part of it. The protesters being out there, my moderator being out there relentlessly, making loud voices, all the posters, all the mica ducks, this t-shirt that I have on. Can you see it? Let me put it down here. This was, if you go back and look at some of the back, this was my little thing that we said. We used to call my office Ward Wolf Pack. You know why we did that? Because it was a woman-owned law firm. That's what Wolf stood for, woman-owned law firm. So we had these t-shirts made, or obviously my office, I had those made, with the hashtag Ward Wolf Pack. Put the little wolf on there and put that we support them. So I'm going to have to bring this up. I guess I need to stand up. Supports hashtag justice for Micah. And it had the same thing on the back with regard to, I think you can see it. So people out there with their posters, people making t-shirts. By the way, I had a whole bunch of these made and gave them away for free. A lot of people have donated things, given things, made posters, stickers, magnets, all of these things, putting it out there. So pushing the information out there. Every single time, someone called my office wanting an interview or wanting to talk about the case, I saw that as an opportunity to talk about coercive control. And I talked every single time that anybody would let me. And of course, her family was very vigilant about protecting protecting Micah and making sure that justice was brought to her. They weren't backing down. They were the first ones out there, y'all. It was her family. And then that reminds me, if anybody knows the answer to this question, would you please let me know? Um, if you'll go look at the little short that I put up with the banner that my office, I keep saying my office is me, that I had made. Of course, I had staff working for me at the time that was helping me, order all this stuff and do all these things. But if you go look at that short or the TT video where me and we were holding that banner up in front of the first protest in front of the church, there is a woman, the woman who organized that very first march. She told me her name on that day. I cannot remember her name to save my life. That was 2 years ago. The other thing is, I have not seen her ever again. I don't know if if anybody knows who that is, please tell me who that is, because I've always wanted to tell her, um, thank you. Thank you for starting that. She was the one that organized the first one. And she was, um, I wouldn't say surprised, but she was pleasantly surprised to see how many people showed up out there. And of course, a lot of people from my office went there as well. We took some my paralegals and my receptionists and stuff. They handmade purple bracelets, braided them together. I had a friend of mine who is actually unfortunately a bedridden daughter, who was very wanted to be involved and wasn't able to come to that. But you know what she did? And every bit of this counts. She painted, I took her a whole bunch of rocks and paint, and she painted a whole bunch of purple rocks and put beautiful glitter all over them. And those were the rocks that I gave away at the first festival when we had the coercive control banner hanging up there. So it's not just one area, okay? There are some people who did some damage out there, okay, for their own self, whatever. There were people saying things and still this day say things they don't know what the heck they're talking about. And some of the things they say, I sit there and go, I know 100% firsthand knowledge that is not true. But I'm not going to chase every one of those down. It's not worth my time. And besides, intelligent people know the difference, I think. So it was everybody and everything. News agencies, them covering the story, just anybody and everybody that, other lawyers it's just been a lot. It's been a lot. So it was a joint effort. Um, Apparently this, wait a minute, let me see. Vivian Rogers, 5550. Apparently this was his opinion that she was bipolar. Again, when they make documentaries, it's not about the opinion of the person. They put together the things and evidence that they have. Hey, Rando, I think he might have double labeled them specifically for show. He never struck me as someone who is interested in just for show at all. Of course, his job is, to make film, to make docuseries. I'm not sure. Let's see. Bree me again. Okay. It's a money grab. Only the feds know what's going on. Everyone talking about this is opinion. Does anybody have a contrary opinion that Micah was living in a coercive control, abusive situation? Does anybody out there other than JP and his wife think that that is not true? Oh, maybe some parishioners. So yeah, there's a lot of opinions. There's opinions about different things. You know what also creates opinions too is not having all the information. We really don't have all of the information. Got a lot of it, but not all of it. Oh, and I'll take that back. The money grab thing. Yeah, people who are saying watch my commercials to the end, they're probably looking for some money. People who are that's their full-time job. Okay, what you saying, TCB? I guess X Sandlapper has me blocked. Can't see her comment. Who? I don't know who is that. Who is that? Come on out. Let me see you. Mary Owens, Amen, Regina. Rhonda, the true crime addict. Can't wait for him to get what he deserves. Well, honey, let's talk about that for a minute. Hasn't he been getting a lot of things that he deserves, like opinions of lots of people? What you think is going to happen when this documentary actually gets published? And really, oh, you know what? Let me tell you the story. Of course, I am doing research all the time, still trying to find those videos and things too, and stories and whatever. I found a story about a woman. Her name is Susan Still, Still. She was a victim of coercive control, but she's never said that. Not that I'm aware of. I've looked for it. I don't see it anywhere. But I did get to hear some of the things that happened to her in her marriage. And I have the opinion, after listening to those things, based on what I know about coercive control, that she 100% was a victim of coercive control. Now, as it progresses, as it usually does, it becomes, a pinning down, a pushing, slapping something out of your hand, or punching walls, or all of that ridiculous crap. And then it ramps up, or has the potential to ramp up to an unaliving. Okay, so Miss Susan Steele, her husband, this monster had the audacity to have his, I can't remember if he was 8 or 13. Yeah, they had three kids, two sons and an older daughter, but he had, I think it was a 13-year-old, made him film. He made this child film him calling her stupid, saying just so many things. You just have to go look it up. It's old. It looks all blurry and stuff. But anyway, he had his child filming him berate, demean, intimidate, assault the child's mother, his wife. And then, of course, he got physical with her. Physical. And this was back in, oh gosh, 2003, I think it 2003, I think it was. Anyway, a long time ago. Back definitely in the days where coercive control verbiage was not used at all. But anyway, the video showed her being physically assaulted and beaten and kicked and pushed down and jumped on and choked and all those things. So anyway, it was the first case, and I haven't verified this yet because I just found this case, and it may be the only case the judge sentenced him to 36 years in prison, and 36 years in prison for basically I think it was 6 counts of assault, 6 counts of, um, can't remember all of it. I don't have it in front of me. And also endangerment to children and neglect of kids and stuff like that. But anyway, it was pretty remarkable. And she went on talking about physical abuse and, being a victim of all of that. I really would like to talk to her and let her know. Of course, she probably knows now. She was a victim of coercive control too. But anyway, the point I was going to make by that, because that's what your comment made me think about, is even 36 years in prison, which he didn't do all of that time. I looked that up too. He got out 5 years ago. Even being in prison all that time does not undo the damage. Just does not undo the damage. But I mean, what else do we do? We put them in prison. We put them in jail. But it don't ever seem to go away long enough. I think, thankfully, that guy did. I feel like, to some degree, because this lady is just an amazing soul herself. I mean, that God laid out a path for her to speak and stuff like that, and to even train police officers about domestic violence and things like that. So anyway, I was saying that, yeah, he deserves. They deserve a lot more than usually what they get. All right, so let's see. Bree, okay, so her plastic surgeon allegedly said that. Now, yes, that she was bipolar. Okay, and I have heard that too. And in fact, I had looked that up. Some people go, a plastic surgeon cannot, and this is true, cannot diagnose someone as bipolar. But if you go look up the effects of anesthesia, it can cause temporary bipolar. I was shocked to find that out. Go look it up. I'm not a medical person, and I just looked online like everybody else. But in 2 years ago, when I'm hearing all this stuff, I already looked that up. I was like, is that even possible? And evidently, it is a rare thing, but it can happen. And whether that's in her medical records for that, I have no idea. But JP said it, and that doesn't, obviously, that makes it almost guaranteed 100% false. But what I found out is it is true that if you go into surgery, the anesthesia can cause a temporary form of bipolar. Now, it can last for a week or two, and in some things it said it can last up to a year. So if I had to guess, and I'm guessing, okay, I'm formulating an opinion, that if that actually happened, as he said it did, and as it looks like it could, then he would have just jumped on that train, baby, and rode it all the way. And my God, the doctor said that you have this. You need to go to the mental health doctor and, whatever. So it is true, according to the research that I did 2 years ago. I probably need to look it up again. That was a long time ago. Okay, let's see. Yes, Fed charges. No, we want JP to pay in cash bag. Okay. Okay, I don't know what's going on over there, but someone who's, I guess, someone's causing problems for people who are in my chat. And I come back and see it. You'll obviously be blocked. You can create a new name, come back and create the same problems. You're going to be blocked, and just keep on doing it. I mean, I don't give up. I don't quit. People who used to work for me, they always knew 2 things about me. Number one, I'm going to protect you to the end. Nobody is going to harass you, bother you, whatever. We had some clients who would come in or potential clients come in and start yelling at my staff, I'd be like, oh, hell no, you don't. You just get right out. So don't think you coming in my chat and going to abuse or, talk down to people who are in my chat room. If you got things to say and you're brave enough to actually use your mouth, give me a call and let's talk about it. That's what I like to do. I like to talk directly to people. Don't challenge me on something I said, something I did, something I meant, something I didn't say, whatever somebody else is, that I don't know. Call me up. I'll be happy to talk about it. Okay. I've said that 100 times over and over. I've said that since I was born. You want don't hide behind a fake name. Don't hide behind a screen. Come on out here. I can do something. We can talk about it in private, or we can talk about it with other people. I don't care. But don't go around thinking you're going to create or do something and I won't take notice and I won't do something about it. Coward. That's what cowards do. Cowards. We know a big one. He's under a federal indictment right now. Let's see. Yeah, I have a tendency to agree with that, Bree. Micah was no bipolar. Her family said she wasn't. I'll believe them before anyone else. Seemed to me that they would know firsthand. But Micah was married for 10 years to JP, Somebody tell me what IMO means. I'm the old lady here. I don't know what that IMO isn't going to affect the doc showing. JP, what is? Yes. Thank you, TCB. It does make him feel powerful. Mary Owens, amen. Bree again. Who? Robeson County Low. What are we talking about there? Evidently you got some information that nobody else has. So why don't you give me a call? 843-488-9273. 9273 spells Ward. 843 is the area code in South Carolina. 488 has to do with Horry County. 843-488-9273. 488 Ward. Yes, people do. Y'all understand Netflix has to wait for info. Yes. And if they get additional information, who knows? There might be another one coming out. I Spy Crime. There you are. See you. Thank you, Regina, for addressing that. Do you have such a great way of opening our minds to another way of thinking, especially mine? Oh, that is very kind of you. I do appreciate you saying that. I was going to say position. It doesn't sound like that's the right word to use, but when you get to be 62, y'all, words just get stuck in your head and they won't fall out, even though you can see them swirling in there. But anyway, what I'm interested in is opening minds and teaching. I like to teach. Okay. I'm not worried about being right. People, oh, you think you got to be right. No, I don't. That's not a thing. That's people, when people say they got to be right, that's people who refuse to see other information that may change their mind. Right. So no, if I say something and I'm wrong, then let me know, show me the stuff and I will change my mind. Okay. But I do want people to become educated as to what coercive control abuse is so that you can talk to other people about it. And mnemonic. There's the word, mnemonic. I was using the word acronym earlier about the, taking the first letter of things and making a new word so you can remember the mnemonic is really the best word to say. A mnemonic is the word that helps you remember something. Anybody who's in music knows what every good boy does, or oh my God, now I just messed it up. Every boy, I have to write down what it is. Yeah, it's a, where are my musicians? It's a musician thing where if you read notes, in which I can read notes, but I just can't remember what the mnemonic is, but I know where the ABCD is. But it has to do with notes on the lines of paper or the so you know if it's a C D A B note, whatever. And it escapes my mind, but I can't think of another right now. Somebody have to help me with that. I don't want to spend more time on that. Thank you for all the purple hearts. Right, okay, let's see. Rhonda, and we all know that JPM loves filing lawsuits. Yeah, but he drops them like a hot potato too, doesn't he? It's a form of intimidation. It's hey, because when someone gets sued, the normal reaction for most people is that, oh my gosh, what is that? Now I'm gonna have to go to court. I'm gonna have to get a lawyer. How much is that going to cost? And what if he wins? And how he'll probably go in there and lie. And then next thing you know, I'm having to do all this stuff and blah 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 blah. It's like, oh, this goes. He counts on it. He counts on it. Hey, but filed a lawsuit back against him. Thank you, Sam Rickman, right? Whip that back around. We didn't drop it. And we won. Ha ha. All right. So yeah, lawsuits are meant to intimidate. Remember, he did that to Micah too. Filing a lawsuit for divorce or separation, and then getting her all wound up about that, cutting her off from the bank account so she would feel like she didn't have any money to hire a lawyer to help represent her, etc. And then it's just the in and out. It's exhausting, people. We have to go through my Micah's list, and I tell you what, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. TCB says, bet JP will file a frivolous lawsuit against Netflix no matter what. There you go. That's the thing. People go, well, how can they file a lawsuit against me if I blah, blah, blah. I got that a lot too. Here's the thing. Anybody can file a lawsuit against anybody. What did you say, Attorney Ward? That's not true. Oh, yes, hell it is. I can go down there and file a lawsuit against anybody I want to. The real question is, first of all, is it one that's going to stick? Is that one that are you going to win? Is it not frivolous? So that's why he would run out and file lawsuits, just to get the intimidation, manipulation, threatening factor to try to control somebody to do what? Shut up. Did he want Sam to shut up? You damn right he wanted Sam to shut up. Why? Because Sam knows things. So what do? You file a lawsuit against him. There's a lawsuit. Now I can't talk. I can't. So anybody can file lawsuits. The question becomes, are they lawsuits that can win? Because the frivolous lawsuits a lot of times are lawsuits that don't have merit. That's the thing. If they don't have merit, those can be thrown out pretty quickly by motions filed by a lawyer. All right, let's see. Micah's Army. Yes. Micah's Army. Where is it? Get out there, send those letters. Hold your legislators accountable. Get this law passed. It can't get passed without you. We got to have loud voices. Yep, that is so true, Bree. Investigation is still open. No one knows what's to come. No one. Kind of got an idea just on procedural aspects. Let's see. April, case is still open. Yes. Vivian, yes, thank you. The most important thing is for her to get the justice she deserves. And his opinion is just that, his opinion. There you go. Nice. Nicely put, Vivian. I wish he would go up against Netflix. LOL. Yeah, you know what? Whew, he won't touch that. He won't touch that. Um, the world will know what he did. Yay. You know what? Think about that. Isn't that true? Sure is. You know what? He would have to change his damn name. And guess what you can't do when you have a criminal record? Change your name. It's one of the factors. Did you know that? When you go to court to have your name changed, if you're in a divorce situation, it's easier to get your name changed because the judge says, "Why you want your name changed?" You go, "Because I don't want that son of a bitch's name anymore. I don't want it associated with me." You say, "Oh, okay, that sounds like a really good reason. You're going through a divorce. You don't want that anymore, right?" So then there are questions in the courtroom. Questions in the courtroom are you changing your name to avoid prosecution or to evade creditors or because you filed a bankruptcy? Are you changing your name because you're on a terrorist watch list? Are you changing your name because you're on um, an ex offenders registry and a ex abuse registry? Are you changing your name because you're on a children's neglect registry? Are you changing your name because you abused and neglected elderly people? These are all questions they're asking you to change your name. Why? Because they don't want people being able to change their name and go around and get out from under the things that have happened. When you um, if you're trying to avoid criminal prosecution, if you have a prior criminal record, you can't get your name changed. And he could change he could go start calling instead of Jay, I guess, to his friends or whatever. I mean, my some of my friends and some of my family members call me Gina. That's not my legal name. My legal name is Regina, but some other people may call me Gina. Okay, but you can and there's people named Richard and they're called you know what. Rex or Richards and what are some other names? William goes by Bill. I don't know how that ever got to me. But anyway, you can tell people your name is something else. But as far as legally changing your name, can't do that without answering those questions. Let's see. Okay. Me, Fafo. I sure wish Micah had recorded that day. Would have been much easier. Well, goodness, isn't that the truth? But who says she didn't? We don't have the phone, do we? Um, I Spy Crime, TCB. I think he'll try to sue too. Absolutely. Yeah, maybe he will. Don't do it, JP. Oh yeah, go ahead and do it. Do it. Army of lawyers. Yes, he did the Gabby Petito documentary docu series, I guess it's called. Um, all right, I don't. What's the Sandlapper? Three more charges. I don't see a Sandlapper in here. Um, I Spy Crime. Micah's story is not over with Netflix, and Regina's words is just the beginning. See, it doesn't matter what you say, how you say it. People going to hear whatever they want to hear. And then they'll say that's what I said. But yeah, that's true. The story is not over. The criminal charges are still pending. So that part's definitely not over. And so we'll have to wait and see. And I have to wait and see what they show in the documentary. I haven't got to see it either, just like everybody else. Um, I'll be looking for it too. Uh, uh, Okay, I don't know how I feel like I'm rambling on here. I really just wanted to address those comments that people were upset about. I really just don't want you to go down that rabbit hole. Think of it in terms of, if Micah was bipolar or had some other issues, whatever, that may be, that means that it's tenfold worse what John Paul, did to her during the marriage. And as far as the unaliving, all we have legally right now is the coroner's report and the investigation of Robeson County. That's a whole nother thing. Don't get me going on that. But anyway, Whitehaven. Hey, Whitehaven Angel. Thank you so much for the Lamb McLovin. Y'all, I love me some McLovin. If y'all have not seen his videos that he makes, you got to go look at his work. He is an amazing artist, and I missed him the last time on his comments that he was in here. And thank you so much. I want to give a big shout out to McLovin, and on this platform he has the Lamb McLovin. Let's see what he says. But he can't go on and say that she was diagnosed bipolar when that wasn't true. JP had a plastic surgeon say that. He shouldn't be saying that she took her own life. Well, the thing of it is, as I've said, is that Netflix is going to not allow anything to be said that's not supported by some evidence of whatever kind. So, like I just said a few minutes ago about her unaliving, all we're aware of that we have at the moment is the coroner's report, and that's what Netflix has to go on, y'all. Everybody that works in there, right down to the person who cut the film and the person who held the light and the person who held the boom. Okay. They could all think something differently, but they have to go. The individuals could think something differently, but Netflix has to put out what they can show support for in case that frivolous lawsuit comes down the pipe. They can go see this. Okay. Thank you, McLovin, for coming in. I appreciate that so much. Yes, Whitehaven Angel, I am doing well. Thank you so much. I hope you are too. Oh, I keep wanting to just call you McLovin. The Lamb McLovin says, thank you for using your voice. Well, I got something to say about it always. And thank you for that. I do appreciate that. Let's see. Thank you, Mary Owens. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There it is, right there, her comment. I'm not going to let that comment, he said, sidetrack promoting the documentary. Right, because what's important at the end of the day is what the story is going to tell about Micah's life and her bravery, her strength, her fortitude, her intelligence, y'all. The things that she had to outmaneuver him all the time just to keep. Every time she would stack up evidence, he was in there finding it, destroying it, or come on in here, honey, I love you, don't leave me, blah blah blah, while he's ripping up stuff. Okay, and so she was always having to outmaneuver. There was there was a whole lot more things that could have been available for her when I was representing her for her first court hearing, but he destroyed that stuff. So she was very smart in learning how to preserve a lot of that evidence. And which reminds me that I've been making notes about maybe some talking points that I want to do that is outside of Micah's case, because I want to help as many people as I possibly can with different things. And it enrages me when I hear people who are misinformed because their abuser or their intimidator or their whatever the heck they are is feeding them a line of crap that says, oh, if you do this, I'm going to do that. Or if you do this, this is going to happen to you. And I go, what the hell? That would never happen. Not in South Carolina, under South Carolina's laws. I don't know about other states, but I want to, I thought that I would talk about some of those things. Like, for instance, if you're in a coercive control abuse situation, how to outmaneuver the idiot, okay, and save your evidence, and things that you can do to, and people go, well, it's, how do you even make it? How do you, where does the evidence come from? Well, I think I can go through all of that. I think that people would be interested in that. And if it's only one person, that's fine with me, because that means we save one life, right? But you need to know how to protect your evidence. And I got some tips on that as a lawyer. But thank you, Mary Owen 6903 for that. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. I adore you too. Oh, Bree, yeah, the interview did not help promote the documentary. Well, hold on a minute. Everybody's talking about it, aren't they? You heard that old saying? Even bad publicity is good publicity. Now, I'm not saying that happened, y'all. Do not go out there and say I said that happened. I said there's a saying, and because she said that didn't do anything to promote it, that wasn't there to create bad publicity. All right, that lady that interviewed him was actually not the woman who normally does that show. The woman who normally does that show, she actually interviewed me. You can go on her channel and find me in there somewhere, where we talked about Micah and her story, and I like her a lot. The woman that did the interview with Mike Gasparo, she was just filling in. And so don't even get turned off by the channel either, because I think that the lady who normally does that, and I'm so sorry, I can't think of her name right now, but anyway, you can go over there and look. I thought that she did a good job with a lot of things, actually. And so, to her defense, she was not the one doing the interviewing. And if you listen very closely to how some of those questions are worded to him, it's almost like he was, I don't know, just kept pushing until he got to some place. I don't think he really wanted to say any of those things, quite frankly. Yes, I'm going to promote the documentary as well, all I can. TCB, hopefully that was just his opinion and not portrayed in the documentary. Good point. Mary Owens, thank you, protesters. Yes, thank you, protesters. That's for sure. And not just protesters, everybody who did something. Some people couldn't get out there to actually protest. People as far as Europe covered this case. If not for them, it would have been just a South Carolina case. The people in Europe? No. The people they helped contribute to it, but it was not. It was never going to be just a South Carolina case. This case, or this story, before, when I said this is not a movie, a dramatic movie where everybody gets down and is waiting to. It's the little movies have what they call classic formulas that they follow. Okay, this is not that. And so it's not going to it had all the makings, and in fact they probably will make one of those what's another word for it, there's the dramatic movies like they have on Hallmark Channel and whatever else it is. They'll probably spin off something that's similar to it. Why? Because it has all those makings. There's love. There's abuse. There's financial stuff. There's a church involved. There's I'm not going to call him the leader of the name that goes for the person who stands in front of a church, because he's not one. I'm not ever going to use that word for him. That reminds me, I do want to talk about a difference about that in just some time. But anyway, it has all this makings. There's just, there's evil components to it. There's, all of the, the dreams and the wishes of a person of, wanting a fairy tale ending, religion being involved. I mean, that one always sells whenever they hear about that. And isn't it just a damn shame that it seems like it comes out of that a lot, which is just awful, 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 awful. I mean, awful that it gets like that. Woman power. Yeah. What woman owned law firm. That's what Wolf Pack, woman owned law firm. Yes. Break the silence. That's a nice one. Micah Dutch. Yep. Micah's bench is beautiful. Yes, it absolutely is. Thank you to TCB Melissa. Say her name. Um, Worked really hard. Oh, thank you, I Spy Crime. I would give you one of my shirts, but I gave them all away at the first protest. Um, let's see. Yeah, the interviewer did say that she saw the documentary already. That's an interesting though to me because and not that I have the know of everything, but I know some things. Um, and know I'm meaning I actually know them. I'm not guessing them. Um, there were only a few people that I'm aware of that would have gotten to see the documentary before it airs on the 26th. Um, but I don't know anything about that lady or why she would have seen it. The only thing this is a guess, is that I think during there, I remember her saying that they worked together on something and they knew each other really well. And I still don't know why she would see it before it airs, but maybe that had something to do with it. They were in the same, whatever. TCB, did you get one of my shirts? That's awesome. Yes, addressing nonsense is useless. Definitely a joint effort. Thank you for sure. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm way behind on your comments. I swear, I don't want to sit here and just keep reading all your comments unless you want me to. Um, let's see. Let me see if I can see if there's any. I just thought there was a couple of little comments. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to read like 20 comments and go, good night. Oh, all right. So, um, okay. Some of this was like you guys just talking to each other. Um, all right. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Talking about, um, there's a thing on here about people getting paid and stuff. You know, a documentary is like a news story. All right. Um, Technically, you're not allowed to be paid for that. It'd be like somebody saying, "Hey, Regina Ward got paid for talking to Carol Riskus the other night." That's the news. Don't get paid for being on the news. Okay. And part of the reason for that is you don't want people's story to be influenced by money, right? It's like if they interview you about, hey, were you there when the volcano blew up? Yes, I was. And if there's a paid performer that wasn't there and they sensationalize something to get people to go look at that news station, then that loses all of its credibility. So a documentary is a story about it documents, you know, a person. It might document a movement, might document whatever it is. You know, you've seen Elvis documentary. I mean, he was a person. You also see documentaries about music and the rise and the birth of rock and roll. Okay, those are those are not dramatic things, like cinematic movies are. They're supposed to put together the pull together information and give it back to people all in one collective place. So a documentary, nobody gets rich off a documentary. Okay, that does not happen. And people who are in the documentary, they don't get a percentage of the Netflix stuff. Oh, that's crazy, y'all. That doesn't happen. That does not happen. Okay, that would take away the some of the credibility there, I would think. But anyway, that's how that's supposed to work. And that's why it's supposed to work that way. Heck yeah, Mary Owen. Is it Owen Owens? Sorry for messing it up. 6903. It's so easy to spot coercive control when you learn about it. Bingo. All right, let's see. The Lamb McLevin, thank you for speaking up, Regina. Remember how powerful your voice is. You can change the world, or at least our part of it. Oh, someone needs to talk to that producer, though. I plan on it, McLovin. Me, I don't know how you want me to say your name, Rando. I only know you as Rando. Me, Fafo. It reminds me of like FAO Schwartz or something. Curious, Regina, what are your thoughts on Clancy? Oh, let's not do that here. Run 2J243. Hi, Regina Ward. I know who the original starter of the protest. Contact me anytime. Love you all, JFM Warriors. Okay, thank you. Can you call my office, please? 843-488-9273, 843-488 Ward, it spells. 9273 spells Ward. Thank you, Run2J243. I am so excited about that. Gosh, I'm so. Call me now. Phone. Oh, it's on silent. Justice for. Okay, someone said justice for all 843. All 843. Jesus J, where have you been? I'm guessing he's in here. I don't. Is he under here, Jesus J, or is he the 2J2? Thank you, TCB. So glad Jay is gone. He got paid by JP for too long. Assuming that's true. Justice for all 843. Regina, yes, but we know from Netflix documentaries they always do them strongly favoring a narrative. Well, yeah, the narrative here should be coercive control. Am I missing something? Y'all, please come on now. These comments do not change what happened or what the circumstances were, or that there's criminal charges pending against John Paul Miller. Please don't go down that rabbit hole. Well, it's going to talk about Mr. Gasparo all night, all day, every day. It's going to keep on talking about him. I bet he'll get some more films. If nothing else, he should, based on what he put together. I hope. Come on now. Let that dog go. And let's just sit and wait and watch the documentary. Okay, docu-series. There's going to be 1, 2, 3 of them. So we need to watch all 3 of them. And then let's formulate an opinion about what he said. Yeah. Oh goodness, shock collars are useful training. Yep, for doggies, right? Um, all right, let's see. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm sorry. Um, okay, let's see. I'm trying to find some. I do appreciate everyone who is here and um, remaining consistent, but I want to see address some other folks too. So I'm trying to scroll here, but I don't want to pass people, so now I'm scrolling too slow. Um, Rhonda True, you are not 62. No way. Yeah, I am. Thank you for that. Um, oh, wait a minute. Does that mean I look older? No, just kidding. I'm trying. Give myself a facial tonight. When I get off of here, I'm going to need it after doing this. Um, okay, I hope I say that right. Double cap. I like your name. Double cap. Love you, Regina. Thank you for advocating for better laws regarding abuse and coercive control. Thank you for continuing to advocate for Micah. Hell yeah, thank you. We'll keep on. Like I said, if it's the last thing I do on this earth, we're gonna get that law passed. And that's the other thing. I'm expecting this documentary, um, to get people motivated to want to get on that train. You know, it's easy to sit back here and talk crap, right? It's harder to get out there and go do something that will make a difference in terms of, especially people who live in South Carolina who have the power to vote. Okay, 2028, we're going to get to vote again. And you better be voting out Senator Luke Rankin. He's got to go. Okay. Um, I got stories there I could tell you with proof to back it up, documents, government documents. Um, he has not made it a priority to take care of women or the abused, in my opinion, in the state of South Carolina. TCB, just go ahead and take care of, I guess, throwing that person out. Who's Chama Taylor? Must be saying ugly stuff because I can't see it. Can go ahead and block whoever that is if they're creating problems for everybody. Is that person creating problems for y'all? Go. Give me a call. Talk to me in person. Talk to me on the phone so we can, go back and forth with my opinion versus your opinion. Um, Run 2J243. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. You're saying, what's your thoughts on creators calling for a ban on Netflix? What the hell? I don't know anything about that. Kind of strange to me. Well, definitely would be strange to me. A ban on Netflix creators? Are you talking about, I don't know, content creators? Or talking about a ban for Netflix? I don't know what that. Why? What? Somebody please tell me what that is because don't know anything about it. And if anybody's doing that or saying that, then what you got to hide? And don't forget, narcissists. Um, and people who participate in coercive control abuse are both male and female. Both male and female. More predominantly happens in males, men, um, but it does happen in women, and I've seen that too. It's there's a few more weapons that female coercive control abusers can use, that would blow your mind, and they do it. Yes, exactly. Mental gymnastics. Um, Rhonda, tree crime. I hope they put Micah's list in the documentary. More awareness put out there. Well, I do too. I don't know how they could not put it in there. Well, not the whole thing, but like the cover that everybody sees. I would just take a guess and say that's probably somewhere in there, but I don't really know. Let's see. Mary Owen, you are so funny. You're right. Um, all those little world Earth. Okay, it still don't. My moderator is protecting me very well, I guess. I can't see. If I can't see it, I don't want y'all. I mean, I don't want y'all seeing it. I mean, not being able to see whatever's happening here. Um, no, Mary Owens, not jail, not jail, not jail. I don't want him to go to jail. Y'all screen recording. Go ahead and clip it. Regina Ward says she doesn't want JP to go to jail. Hell no, I don't. I want him to go to prison. What's the difference? Say prison. And don't forget, y'all, he currently, let's see, he should leave the country. Let's see, he should leave county, but they won't let him now with all his troubles. Leave country. Oh, leave country. Okay, so yeah, that you know what though? That's the other thing. Um, is that got an ankle monitor on him. There is a conditions of a bond order that says can't go across the state line of South Carolina without permission. Plane pretty much grounded. His what do you call the thing? Passport was taken from him. So you know, he can't go anywhere. If he does, he have to go on foot, but his monitor is going to ping the minute he steps that pinky toe or the ankle that has the monitor over the state line. Got nowhere to go. Um, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm behind again and I'm trying to catch up and then I'm trying not to. Sergeant, let me see if I can do it. Sergeant can't even. I got the Ocalardus Sergeant. I think I'm sorry, Sarge 1046. Hey y'all. Hey Sarge. Lesbian relationships are the most violent, statistically speaking, and highest divorce rate as well. I don't know the statistics on that specifically. Um, so I can't really say I know or anything. I don't know the statistics, but it make me want to go look it up now. Yes. Oh, I look cute. I'm in my t-shirt now. I was in my suit for the original live. And those of you who didn't know, I had a live earlier where I was doing what to expect from the documentary, which was basically expect to be, uh, you know, fall in love with Micah, expect to, become enraged, expect to be disgusted, expect to be shocked, and those kinds of things. So anyway, at the end of that, I thought I clicked end stream. I clicked something. I thought ended it, and then I just disconnected my camera because I have a separate camera that connects to my laptop that I use for other things. So I just unplugged it and went off and put on my casual clothes, and came back for my moderator to tell me, Regina, people are asking you the same question over and over and over again. You need to go answer. They want to know the answer to this. I was like, oh my gosh. See what I was trying. I thought I'm trying to get the recipe right here. So when I did my quote first live, I was like, I see some things that definitely need to be improved. I know there's plenty of things that need to be improved. But one of the things was I thought it was annoying how I'd go, oh, what did he say? What did he say? What did he say? I thought that was kind of annoying for the viewer. Um, and so I thought when I would do it this time that I wouldn't focus on the comments because I was really just going to say what I wanted to about what to expect, you know, regarding the documentary. And it was really talking about what to expect emotionally, expect to get educated about coercive control, expect to be, repulsed by some of the things that you'll see. I was just getting on to do that and get off. And so I'm sorry about that, but I didn't want to sit there and like I'm even doing now, looking in the comments. But that's what you wanted me to come back for. So that's what I'm back for. Okay. And then, yes, I love seeing all these just, yeah, all caps, prison. Prison. I don't know how to deal with this. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I just went down again too far. Now, if I roll past you again, I apologize. I don't mean to do that. All right, let the. Oh yeah, so let the documentary play. It hasn't even aired yet. That's what I was saying too. Let's let it play. Let's have a look at it. And don't. I mean, don't go down the rabbit hole, like I said. Um, I saw the vids today of people upset on the Netflix angle and wanted to know what Regina thought of this. That's simply it. Well, y'all, we don't know what the Netflix angle is, do we? We don't know what it is. I mean, I know what I was told it was going to be and what was expected for it to be and what the family expected it to be and the way it was put together by those who were doing all of that work. See, there's there's the companies that come out and put together get all the take an interest in the story, and then it's almost like if it's kind of like if you write a book. Just because you write a book doesn't mean it get published, right? You got to find a publisher who's interested in publishing your book. Of course, nowadays you can publish books yourself through those, I don't know, small companies or whatever, if you want to have one. I had a little small book that was published, but it's not really like a book. It's like a little thing I put together for some of my clients who've been in accidents and stuff. But anyway, people call it a book. But I'm talking about like if you have a huge novel or something, and you want it to be sold to a lot of people, you usually have to have a publisher. So while you put the story together, it goes nowhere unless you get it published, right? And it's the same kind of thing. So Micah's story was picked up by Crazy Legs Productions, which is the company, the original company, the first company, the one company that was that got Micah's story. And then what they had to do after that was to find a platform that wanted the story, whether that's Netflix or any other platform out there. So that's kind of how that works in terms of it just doesn't. So my point is like when you write a book and you give it to the publisher's going to give it to an editor, and the editor's going to make some changes and some chops and cut out some things you think is important and leave some things in that whatever. That's just how that works. And I don't know what the Netflix side of things did, because there's a lot of things that have to run through that lawyer mill that I was telling you about. And if the lawyers were nervous about any particular thing that would have put in motion some form of liability against Netflix, they're going to cut that part. They're not going to put that in there. So that's another thing. I don't want you to go watch it and walk away saying, well, they didn't put this in there, they didn't put that in there, they left out this, they left out that. I'm telling you right now why some of that happened. One, it would be too long. Some of it's repetitive, but number one is that it may not have made it through the team of lawyers, So Crazy Legs is the name of the company, and I have a lot of respect for them. Heart is in the right place, and whatever the final cuts are, that's not their call. That's has to get through all of those other places. So don't. All right, let's see. Who's causing problems? Somebody else is causing problems, is there? You want to cause problems and create things, give me a call. I'm happy to swap opinions with you. Don't hide behind your cyber face. You got something to say it to me. Who's attacking who? If anybody's attacking anybody, get out. Leave right now. This is a platform that we're not tolerating abuse. Throw them all out, Melissa. Throw anybody out that's going back and forth at each other, fussing with each other. Get out. They're not here to listen to me or to put in any good commentary. Block them all right now. In fact, let me see if I can block them. I see who y'all are. That's not what we're here for. I'm not going to be your little platform to come do this silly crap. Take it to your own, okay? Not coming here. This platform is to promote awareness against coercive control abuse, which includes manipulation, intimidation, harassment, threats, all that kind of stuff. So go on. We don't want you here. We don't need you here. And I promise you, we won't miss you. Bye bye. Get them out. And we can have a free exchange of opinions and be respectful of that. You can do that. All right, let me see. Rando, you got to get on over here on this platform, and so you can get in here and be a moderator for me too. I don't put up with any of this crap. It goes against everything. It goes against everything that I'm out here trying to educate people for. Let's see. All right, bye bye to one of you there. Okay, so here's the thing. Did you see what just happened? My attention had to be diverted to some little immature mess that's diverting from the message. What does that sound like? Rhonda, I have a few ladies here in West Virginia coming over to watch the documentary Wednesday, hoping they'll understand why I'm so passionate to get Micah's Law passed. Thank you so much. Now, that sounds like a nice thing to do and a good thing to do because y'all certainly going to have to hug each other. Um, and I'm just doing a private family watch myself. Um, and guess what? I won't be doing? I won't be videoing my reaction until it's over. Oh, let's see. Oh, hi, Crystal Wilson, 7548. Do you anticipate the release of the documentary will give other potential witnesses the courage to come forth? And do you anticipate future charges for JP? Thank you for all you're doing. Crystal Wilson, now see, somebody's contributing here. Not the others that I wouldn't talk to contributing. I'm just saying. Whoever's being ugly before. Thank you, Crystal Wilson, 7548. Well, that was one of the things that I said that I expect. And I'm sorry, I'm sort of slouching in my chair right now. I apologize. I actually had moved my office chair and put this little small, I don't know, like one of those little foldable chairs that's I don't know at different place or like at a festival or something, because I noticed that in my office chair, it rolls and I sit there and wiggle and jiggle and all that kind of stuff. Of course, I talk with my hands anyway. But anyway, Crystal Wilson, 7548. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I expect that documentary to give people who may have had second thoughts or finally at one point just said, that's okay. We'll just let Micah handle it. I'm not going to come forward and say anything, or they probably got enough. If you've got something, you better come forward. And I anticipate that will embolden some witnesses, whether it's to the currently existing criminal charges, or maybe it's relevant to any other potential crimes that could have or may have been committed there, whether that's by Mr. Miller himself or Reginald Wayne Miller or anybody else that was over there at that church. And so, yeah, I expect that to happen. I expect people to become brave from that and to feel encouraged. And please, please, please make sure you put it out there that just like anything in these kinds of situations, that what happens behind closed doors, right? It becomes a he said she said thing. But if enough uh, witnesses come forward, not enough, if more and more is what I'm trying to say. You know how it is. You've seen it already happen in the past, that when more come forward, then the credibility is um, enhanced. Not enhanced, that's not the right word. um, anyway, there's this thing when you go on the he said she said kind of thing. He said and she said, then who's to say who said what, right? But if you have more people coming in going, I was in the same situation, this is what happened to me, or I saw this situation that happened, or I was there in the lunchroom when that happened, I remember it specifically, right? So when those types of things come forward, my goodness, if there's any, you know there's more, there's never enough. Okay, meaning there's, well, I should say there's never too much. That's what I should be saying. There's never too much. So don't think that oh, well, somebody else has already said that or did that. Jane Doe and Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 2 are still out there. And by the way, I know for a fact that there is a Jane Doe, excuse me, a John Doe 1. And I really wish he would come on out and have the courage to speak up. And I'm sure, and there is another person that I know did, should probably come forward, but that person's not going to for other reasons. But anyway, I feel confident that we'll see more. Now, like I said before, and don't be coming out here with some mess that muddies it up or waters it down or anything like that. Come with real stuff, real stuff. Okay, real stuff. Don't try to get center of attention like you know something. Be the witness. Or if you're the victim. Okay, a witness again is someone who's seen it with their own eyes, heard it with their own ears. Okay, touched it themselves. Not someone told you that somebody else said that they saw it and heard it over there back before whatever. That's not a witness. It's called hearsay. It's inadmissible in court for obvious reasons. Now, there are some exceptions to hearsay, but this is not your evidence lesson today. And do you anticipate further charges for JP? Thank you for all you're doing. Thank you, Crystal, for your question. As far as anticipate, I don't know that would mean that I would know something, but I'll put it this way. I would say that there could be, if there are other victims out there of a crime, then absolutely. If there are other witnesses out there to other types of crime, whether it be with the church or members or workers, whatever, I don't know. If they saw some stuff going on over there, then yeah, might be more charges for him as well as a few other people. Wouldn't we enjoy that? I think I just did that, TCB. All right, so oh, Rhonda, there you go. Rhonda, True Crime Addict, thank you. Says, I had to filter mine to all and not to top. And that's what's happening to me too. Sorry. Hi, Lotus Flower 8. It's 100% to something. Thank you, Sarge. I see you still here. Appreciate that. All right, I'm going to change to, oh, and did I do it right? Let's see. Okay, now I don't know. Now I'm like, oh, I'm all way behind now. All right, I'm gonna scan real quick. I'm sorry, this is such a boring part I have to deal with. I apologize to y'all, but this is only, I don't know any other way to do it. I was telling Alyssa today, I was like, I wish I had a teleprompter right there, so it'd be like, and I could go read all of that stuff. But maybe some out there know. I'm sure. I mean, this is modern times, y'all. I'm sure that there's something for your comments on your live that can be up here, so you don't have to look down like this. I mean, I don't see people doing that all the time. There's some kind of setup. I just hadn't had a lot of time to put into it to figure that out because I still do have a day job. um, oh, thank you, the Lamb McLovin. I see what's happening. We'll fix that. No worries. Give me a call. JJ. All right, so I changed this to like all, and I'm gonna scroll down to the most recent, y'all, and kind of work back a little bit. Um, oh my goodness, peeps, we've been on here for an hour and 55 minutes. I did not mean to do that to y'all if that was me at all, but I'm really just want to answer questions the best that I can. I'm gonna go to the bottom here. Um, Rando, you gonna step up to the plate? Make you a moderator. I'm gonna do that after I talk with you. Um, oh, well, of course you would know, McLovin. You can have double screen one with just comments. Heck yeah. Okay, I gotta find out what happened. Regina, let's see. Justice for all eight for the Regina. What happened to the Jane Doe cases? The Jane Doe. Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. So the Jane Doe cases are, well, I can't say as of this moment today, but as of yesterday, they were still pending. Now somebody was putting it out there that they all been dismissed. Not true. Okay, not true. Um, I can see how that could have been believed. Hold on one second. I can see how a non-lawyer might think that that happened. And let me see if this is actually in the stack of documents. What it is that and it's actually really funny. You wouldn't think anything was funny in that, but when I tell you this, you will. I got to find it though. I have, oh. Anyway, I'm going to have to, again, here's my, my, what do you call that? I'm sorry, I think I moved it to over there. I got so many different files everywhere. Anyway, what it was, if I remember correctly, and y'all, I am 62. I can't remember things, certain things, and certain things I don't even try to remember anymore. Okay. But with regard to this, I'm pretty sure what got dismissed was John Paul's counterclaim against the Jane Does. Well, not dismissed. He dropped it. He dropped it like he does everything else. Oh, I went up there and do something. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay, listen. They're still around. Okay. Lotus Flower 8. And of course, love your name. And I don't know if you had that name before you knew about Micah, but the lotus flower, as I understand, was her favorite flower. Lotus flower. Big. I like how you put the big question mark in there. Hey, look at this question. What kind of time could JP get for the charges he has so far? Okay, so I think it was up to 5 years on the stalking, and or was that the feds? Anyway, I do know this, that there is and I don't have that law in front of me right now. It's not something I was prepared to talk about tonight. I have talked about it before. I'll be glad to talk about it again, but I don't have it in front of me, and I like to have that in front of me. Um, the stalking charges can be enhanced, and those can go up to, I think it was 25 years. I'd have to look at that again for sure. It's been a little while since I looked at that. Um, but a charge can be enhanced for different reasons. And I went through that on another live. I don't think that I saved any videos on it, so that might be one of the things I need to write down to catch up on. Y'all, I take notes all the time of things that people want me to do, and I'm sorry, it's like it's a lot, and I really want to do this, um, get a lot of these questions answered and things straightened out. Um, okay. Oh, hi, Creator de Class Magazine. I have family up and down the East Coast watching. Nice. And hopefully tell all your family to call all their friends, and their friends to call their friends, and their friends to call their friends. You know how that works. Okay, Mike is live. Made calls and calls for it. Great. Thank you so much. Hey, it's going to take a while. The other states that actually have passed the law, it didn't happen overnight. There had to be the right people in the right place, and took a long time to get it written properly. And so those other states that already have it, you can look at their history and see that it didn't happen overnight there either. It never does. But laws shouldn't be passed overnight. I mean, honestly, that's why we have the system that we have, is to make sure, um, that they're not, just willy nilly stuff. I want to make sure that they're effective. That's a big thing. That was my biggest thing with the way, it was, the proposed law or bill was written now, is that I just didn't think it would be that effective. As a criminal defense attorney too, I felt like that if someone had come into my office after that bill passed into a law, they came in my office charged with that. Not that I'd take any case like that, but anyway, um, I looked at it and said, you know what? I know I can get them out of it. It's in criminal law. You got to do is create a doubt. You got to create a doubt. Hey, the Lamb McLovin says he'll mod. Thank you. You kick out mean people. There's not going to be any distractions in here. This is only for people who are here to have good conversation, ask legitimate questions, and not create any um, fuss or angst. I want people to be in here, enjoying being here, not have to focus on writing back somebody just says something ugly to them. What the hell, y'all? Come on. I want you to enjoy being here. Well, maybe not, joy is not the right place, right word. I want you to not be annoyed by other people while you're in here. I want you to um, be here and not have to get in there and say something back to somebody about, I didn't say that, da 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 da. Okay, I thought that I did, um, Melissa. Yep, I hope it gets enhanced charges too. So if you're a witness and you have information out there, or different, or other evidence that will help with the pending charges right now, you better make sure you get that to the FBI. Yeah, I agree, Lotus. It is too low. Um, okay, let's see. Rando. I keep calling you Rando because I know you as Rando. Me, hey me. Me says personally, I hope they charge him with more and it spans out. It all needs exposed. Yes, I agree. Whatever may be there, and I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's plenty of things we don't know about. Um, somebody's got some information about. 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 And you have a duty to come forward. You have a duty to tell. You have a duty to share. You have a duty to report. You have a duty, if you care at all about other people whatsoever, if you care that if you have a daughter or a son in the future who might be a victim of this type of abuse or some of the other things that may or may not have happened over there, if you care that that would happen to anybody that's related to you, then you get your butt on the phone, because you can't complain about it down the road if you didn't do anything to stop it today, right? Well, I mean, you can complain, but you don't have any room to. Um, okay, Lotus Flower 8. Why was JP wearing Micah's necklace after her death? Well, you know why. That was proof. You know, he went there and tried to raise her from the dead. He went there and he held her and cried. He got there probably to see if he find any evidence that needed to be destroyed. The one that she was shown wearing in the GVN store, right? Okay, J Marge 05. Hi, J Marge. I don't think I've seen you yet. You may have been here, but I've been going. If they add more charges, when does that happen? Do they slip it in right before the trial? Well, that would be called trial by ambush, and that's illegal. It's unconstitutional. You can't do that. 14th Amendment says that we all, as citizens, regardless of what a piece of crap we are, get entitled to notice of charges against us, and we have the right to confront our accusers, and we get to confront those who say they are witnesses against us. That's how it works, and it's a good system. So no, they don't get to just slip them in on there. If there's enough evidence that comes in, they can enhance the charges prior to it going to trial. They can definitely do that. The enhancements also come from the sentencing phase. Okay. So in the sentencing, that's what I went through. And again, I'm sorry, I can't remember all the stuff off the top of my head. I have to look at it, but I made a chart on it about the sentencing, and the enhancement. The sentence can be enhanced. That's what I should say. I apologize. I think I said charges enhanced. The sentencing can be enhanced based on the facts that are presented. Yeah, I think I did get him out. The troublemaker has been thrown out of the building by the boss lady, me. Okay, so, and we know you're still lurking out there watching. We appreciate that. Thank you. But don't come back in here causing trouble. You got it, Lotus, like a trophy. See, I'm her husband. I was there. I'm the one. I'm the one that got to, identify her. Like all these are. Sorry. I hope, yes, I do too, TCB. Taking care of business, Myrtle Beach. I hope so too. Me, all the dominoes need to fall. Love you too, McLovin. Yeah, we all love you, McLovin. Yes, all the dominoes do need to fall. You've heard of that thing, a house of cards, right? It's because it's built on a shaky foundation. You pull out the right one, whoo, that thing's going to fall down, right? And I don't have any personal proof of any other crimes, particularly that were going on. Well, I take that back. I may have or may not have been told about a crime that may or may not have been allegedly going on over at that church. And I'm just praying that that's being investigated. And so until witnesses come forward, sometimes it, you get warrants on what's called probable cause, and there's different levels of proof. And I'm trying to figure out a way to teach that to people, and I'll figure it out. But anyway, there's a burden of proof. Either you have to have a little bit of proof, or you have to have a whole wheelbarrow full, or you got to have a truckload full of proof. Okay, you should have to have a truckload full of proof when it comes to convicting somebody of crimes. Why? Because you're taking away their liberty and you're putting them in prison. Okay, you're putting them in prison. So that shouldn't be done just like that. Now I know that we feel as individuals like we know that person did this or he did that or she did that. We know it. You got to prove it. There's a reason for that. Okay. Hadn't you ever heard of people being falsely accused? And if you've ever been on the side of actually being falsely accused, it is sickening. Okay, because nobody believes you. When I was in law school, there were people that were on what do you call it, like a group of people who were on the Innocence Project, I think is what it was called, or something like that, where it was, of course, it was law students and law students. You know what law students do that licensed lawyers don't do as much later on? They look stuff up, and I mean everything. They dig and dig and dig. Why? Because they want that A. Okay. And so there was a group of people who were on that. I can't remember what they called, team, group, organization, whatever it was. And they helped people who were falsely imprisoned. I mean, back before civil rights and stuff, y'all, people were put in jail that should never have ever even known a jail existed. Prison should never have even known it existed. And sure as hell should have never been sentenced to go to prison. And people get set up. I mean, things like that. No, John Paul, you were not set up. Don't jump on that one. But yeah, it should take. It's a different burden of proof. So you can bring charges against, or the state can bring charges against someone on what they call probable cause. Probable cause is a very low threshold of proof. It's about, I don't have a teaspoon anywhere. It's about a teaspoonful. Like, wait a minute, how could that be? Charging somebody with crime? Yeah, because the probable cause, the lay person way to say it, I guess, or the way we learned it, is that you say this: more likely than not, a crime has been committed. All right, walk to the kitchen, the cookie jar the lid is off and there's crumbs going down. More likely than not, somebody got in the cookie jar. Why do we think that? Well, because something's not right here. The lid is gone, there's crumbs everywhere, and there was 12 cookies and now there's only 10 in there. So more likely than not, someone has gotten into the cookie jar. And so with probable cause, it's like, for instance, people would go, well, another way to put it too is like if you're driving down the road, okay, and you're not doing anything illegal whatsoever, but your tag light is out. Good Lord, is that like a number one? Not a number one, but it's a big one for getting cars pulled over. Your tag light is out. Well, the law says that your tag light has got to be working. It doesn't say, oh, if you know your tag light is out, then you're in trouble. No, it says your tag light has got to be working, and you have the responsibility to make sure that it is. And that means you better walk around and look at your tag light every now and then, make sure that, especially if you have an older car or you have a car that you've had the bulb, has not been changed since you bought the thing. And you're driving down the road, um, and your tag light is out, more likely than not, a crime has been committed. Why? Because we see the tag light is not illuminated. Cop pulls you over. Well, that's called probable cause. They can pull you over for that. If you're going down the road speeding like a madcat, okay, and the speed limit sign says 55, and you whiz by, and an officer sees that and go, "Whoa, that wasn't 55." That, or they shoot the thing, we call it radar at you or whatever, or they're tracking behind you, and more likely than not, then you're committing a crime, and they're going to pull you over. That's probable cause. So it works the same thing with bigger things too. Not simplified as I put it, but it really is still the same standard. More likely than not, a crime has been committed. So if if a purse has been ran off with, and they go, somebody ran by and grabbed my purse, more likely than not, a crime has been committed. Now we got to figure out who did it, right? So you can get warrants on that. So the threshold to get a warrant and to get someone arrested is easier, and if you want to put it that way, but that would be only relevant to prosecution. So don't get out there and say, well, it wasn't easy. I needed him arrested, she arrested, and it wasn't easy. Well, it's because you didn't have probable cause. So you didn't have enough evidence to prove probable cause. So anyway, the threshold should be high, because we don't want innocent people going to jail and going to prison and their life being done. We want guilty people to go to prison. Okay, y'all, it's like 2 hours. I don't even know how you tell on YouTube if anybody's in here other than people who are coming up and commenting. But yeah, that's hilarious. Is that true? Spy crime. JP has about 42 traffic crimes. I know it's a lot. I don't know how many it was. Okay, let's see. Just Robin 6459. My car has a lift on it for my motorized chair. My daughter got ticketed because my chair blocked the God, I'm handicapped and need that chair. That makes me a bit angry there. What state is that in? Yeah, so if you don't want to get pulled over, make sure your tag light is working. Also, make sure that your blinkers are working and your brake lights are working. All of those are probable cause to pull you over. And if you are doing bad things inside your car when you get pulled over for those things, then yes, you can be arrested for those bad things too. That's the purpose of the probable cause, is to look in there. Well, okay. Thank y'all so much for coming over, and thank you for your what a hilarious, what a YouTube you a tube blooper, I had a tube blooper, a tube blooper. I was telling Melissa, I was like, I got to figure out how to get out of lives, because evidently I didn't. When she called me, I was like, well, let me go back and look at these comments, because I didn't want there to be a whole bunch of the same kind of comment. And I go, why didn't she answer it? Why didn't see it? And so, so that was fun. The tube blooper. So everything's a learning experience, right? The path is just laid out for whatever it's supposed to be, and so, well, first of all, I'm glad I unplugged the camera. Thinking that was off the air. That's for sure. But anyway, that was fun. To figure that out is a learning experience. And hey, we got to do this something else. And let's see. So I don't know. I don't know when I will get back on here. Of course, I'll probably hang up now and go, "Oh, I should have said this," and then, you know, it's going to be there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot going on after the documentary is actually released, right? There's going to be a lot going on after the first one. But y'all remember, the first one is the first of three. You haven't got the whole story yet, okay? So give it a shot. Give it a minute. Remember what the purpose of it is, okay? Um, bring that bright shining light to this problem. Micah's life was extremely meaningful, absolutely wonderful person. She deserves the respect. Her family deserves the respect of you taking it seriously and watching it and remembering this is not a movie. This is about someone's life. This is about Micah's life. This is about all of the other things that were touched too. Other people's lives that were touched in there. It's not just Micah's family, Micah's friends. Her social circles, the people in the church that loved her so much, and she loved them too so much. So just remember all of that. Don't go down the rabbit hole and all this other stuff. Stay true to the message, okay? All right, one quick look, and then we're out. Oh my gosh, I love. Thank you for the bouquet, Mary Owen 6903. Um, hey Sarge, you say, oh, you're back. Lightning storms bad up here in Pineland. You're welcome, Justin Robin. Thank you so much. McLovin, thank you for your powerful voice, my lady. Oh, my lady. We love you, Regina. Keep speaking loud. Oh, thank you so much for that encouragement. Um, and I will. Thank you. But there's the ex Sand Lapper. Somebody was talking to you before, and I'm sorry I didn't see your other comments, but I see yours now with those beautiful sunflowers. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. And J Mar J Open are all three being released on Wednesday. I don't truly know the answer to that, but that's not how it normally works. Okay. Usually you watch this episode, all three show up on a season, usually after the season has ran. So just think about it as, I don't know, any other show that you may have watched where you can't wait till the next one comes out. You want the next one to come out. So more than all likely would be like that. So after they all three come out and you want to go back and watch them consecutively, probably a good idea. And then I'm not even sure if they've said what the time of day is. Somebody said 7. I don't know that that's even been released to anybody at all. It hasn't been released to me that it would be 7. Not that it necessarily would be, but anyway. Oh, that's so beautiful, Lotus Flower. And Icebreaker, I think we should all take a deep breath after we watch all three because I know for myself I'm probably going to experience a lot of emotion. Absolutely, you sure are. Expect that, expect that, expect that. Make sure you have your tissues. As I said before, you're going to need them. You're probably going to jump off the couch. You're probably going to cheer. You're probably going to be mad. There's a lot that's going to go on there. There's a lot that's going to go on there. And what I was saying too is don't watch it just one time. Please do not watch it just one time. You need to watch it more than once, twice, 3 times, at least twice. I don't know. My Forrest Gump, I think I've ran it like 80 times. I think Mike is going to be added to my Forrest Gump watch rotate. Not that. Nope. Don't do that. That's not what I said. I'm tired and hungry. I'm just saying that I will watch it a lot. I will watch it over and over. I will dissect it too. I'm going to dissect it too. Just like probably everybody else, I'm going to look at it and say, gosh, why didn't they put that in there? Or why didn't that? I'm going to say the same thing, y'all. But that doesn't mean that they have failed. Does not mean that they have failed. It's just not practical, right? It's just not practical. And they also have to protect their legal behind. So the point is that it should get it better, it dang well better get the point across as to what happened. All right, thank you guys. Good night. And I have to quit looking, or I will keep over here. Um, and Yeah, yeah, thank you. All right, everybody. Now I know where the end the stream button is. Thank y'all so very much. I just I believe in you. I believe in every one of you. I believe in the power that we can have all together. So, McLovin, I appreciate you telling me to keep my voice loud and strong, but I want y'all's to stay loud and strong. And collectively, we're going to blow the top off of this thing. Y'all have a good night.